Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we got the Studio Series 105 Rise of the Beast Deluxe Class Mirage. Now, I love that we always get these guys like months before they're supposed to come out. This guy wasn't supposed to come out till December, and yet here we are. Halloween night is the day I'm recording this actually. Happy Halloween. And we already got him. Now, there's a couple things I do want to talk about with this figure. Both good and a little bit bad. Now, first thing I will point out, mine's kibble is not as bad because mine broke. I'll put an image up on screen, but basically the back windshield like completely cracked in half. Well, I have the pieces up here somewhere. It just cracked right in half. And they didn't have any more at Walmart, so I kind of just had to live with it looking like this, and it doesn't have a back windshield. So I'll still tell you how to put the back windshield in, but you just won't be able to see it. So with that little disclaimer out the way, let's get into the actual review. Returning to the box, here we got Studio Series 105 Mirage's box, and it looks just like the normal Studio Series. Got a really nice 3D render, which you can actually tell is definitely from concept art, because he never had that battle mask in the movie. So that kind of sucks that they're still using concept art for figures that are coming out in, it's supposed to be December, but got a really nice side showing the 105 and this little 3D render of Mirage showing the Studio Series, obviously. Nice little back. I'm going to be honest with you, they make the Porsche look a lot better than it actually looks. Don't get me wrong, it looks amazing, but definitely not that nice. But and we got a really nice 3D render, which is actually how I prefer to display my figures, which is nice. But yeah, basic Studio Series box. Turning to the display, it is actually the alleyway where I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be the alleyway where the Autobot base is. I don't know, it might also be where they hide after Bumblebee is killed and they talk to Air Razor. I don't know, but it's one of those two. It's an alleyway with a bunch of spray paint on it, and he does look pretty nice on it. Like he just fits in there. Now, turning to accessories, here we got Mirage's gun. It's nothing crazy. It's just a non-painted piece of plastic. It's also really weirdly shaped, so it fits on his arm properly. But yeah, it's nice. And so if we grab Mirage here, all it does, it's like almost every Studio Series weapon like this. Basically, just grab that. There's a little peg in it, and you just peg it into his hand. Might have to rotate a little bit just to get it to fit properly. And bang, there we go. That's Mirage with his blaster. Unfortunately, it is not blast effect compatible. I was really hoping that it would be, but it just isn't, and it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. You know, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It kind of sucks that it's not blast effect compatible. But yeah, it's alright. Especially if they're able to make Noah's. But yeah, if you really want to, you could buy two. But I don't really recommend doing that. Hopefully, we do get a bunch. Hopefully. Since this figure is so compromised, we should be getting a ton of design kits, upgrade kits. So we should be getting a ton of those in the future. And also, this gun, if you're like me and lost Bumblebee's gun, does work with the Studio Series 100 Bumblebee due to its shape, and I think that was on purpose too. I think it was also to make it look like that's completely flush. Like look at that. Like you can almost barely tell that there's actually a hand under there. It almost looks just like an arm, which is really impressive. But it also works on the SS100 Bumblebee. So if you lost the gun, you're in. So for our core class comparison, I actually lost Noah, and it makes me so sad. Sorry, there's camera distance here, but it makes me so sad that I lost Noah, because I think these two figures are the two that I was hyped for to just have together. But if I don't find him, I'm just gonna buy another one. Luckily, he's a core class, so it's like $10, but I'll just buy another one if I can't find him. But here he is next to, obviously, RC and, well, RC, because these are the only other, like, core class type figures I have. But, yeah, so I think, especially these two, I think he sizes up pretty decently. You know, again, robot mode is incredibly sacrificed, so, you know, but I still think that's decent, I'm gonna be honest. For the deluxe class comparison, here are the two big deluxe figures of this line. Yeah, we got Air Razor, but right now, these are the best deluxe figures in my opinion. And I think he sizes up pretty decently, I'm gonna be honest with you. there are a couple shots that we see Mirage and Bumblebee standing next to each other, and I think this is pretty decent. And from when Nightbird came down and swooped Mirage, I think that's pretty well sized as well. But yeah, pretty good. For the Voyager comparison, we got Rhinox and Cheetor, and I don't think we ever actually see these guys stood up next to each other in robot mode at least. But I am very glad that we can finally recreate the scene of Cheetor pouncing on Mirage, which I think was a pretty funny part in my opinion at least. But yeah, here they are stacked up against each other. Again, I don't even think we get to see them stacked up against each other. Oh yeah, because Mirage is on the bridge the entire time. So yeah, we don't ever see these guys stand next to each other. But like with a lot of these Rise of these figures, we can probably just assume that this is accurate because they've been pretty spot on in the past. For the leader comparison, here he is up against Legacy Evolution Blitzwing, which wink wink coming in the future, and the big bad, that being leader class Scourge. I feel like Mirage is a little bit oversized here, or Scourge is a little bit undersized here, because he can, in the movie, Scourge can just pick up Mirage's neck in his hand and hold him like 20 feet off the ground still. So it's a little bit inaccurate, although we know Scourge has a lot of inaccuracies. For as decent as a figure he is, he's got a lot of inaccuracies, but so I don't think this is too bad. I also am just now realizing how small Blitzwing is. That's probably the budget for the triple changer kicking in. But these are the two we care about, because these are from the same movie. Like I said, it's decently accurate. Again, Scourge can like hold Mirage by the neck right here and still hold him like this high off the ground without putting his hand that high. So yeah, a little bit of inaccuracy. Scourge definitely has a lot of those, but still pretty good looking compared next to each other. I can just like imagine a pose with them, with him covering Noah. Like, it just looks pretty decent. I'll try to do the most interesting part of the video, transformation. That's because, like I said, this part, the back windshield broke off for me, so I'm going to try and describe to you best as I can. If it turns out trash, I'll just overlay a video of the transformation. But first thing I usually do is come to this headlight thing, snap that up, and then just pull it up, just like so. It might come undone, that's fine. That was just to make sure it could come out. Then what you're gonna want to do is grab what comes the headlights and pull these out. They are on double hinge joints, so just pull out just like so, like that. Then move these shoulders down until they click, kind of like Bumblebee, just like so. So they should look something like this so far. I know he looks a little stupid, but that's what I'm showing you the camera here. Then that should give you enough clearance to just bring this up here. Do not peg this into place, or else it'll be a nightmare at the end. But then what I recommend you do is put the arms into like a T-pose here. Move them up if you need to, if just for the extra clearance. But what we can then do is angle this windshield down, so these are like almost tabbing in, kind of like that. And then in this middle, that little fake ab crunch here, you can see it's like basically it folds out. So that's what you want to do. You want to fold it out and straighten out the crotch, so that you're left with something like that. Or else you're not gonna be able to transform this guy at the end. Then rotate the waist. You might have to like move the legs around, or do that, because I mean they are on ball joints. So I mean, if you really want to, you could just rip off the legs, but rotate that around. Find a way to. I know this guy's clearance is horrible, so you're gonna have to maneuver it. Sorry I had to do that off camera. So, but until you're left with something looking like this, then you can see there's like a little bit, I don't know if you can see it, there's like a little bit of like a slide thing in there, kind of like that, which the part with the mushroom peg that's now exposed will fit into. So move the legs and arms out the way, and then kind of just bend it until it shoots into place, just like so. So you're left with something that looks like that. Yeah, definitely make sure you're gonna do this, or else it's gonna be a nightmare. But then take these feet, rotate them around, straighten out the legs, and then take the arms right here, and then they should just slide right into place right there. Move that if you need to. And then there's like a little tab that will just peg into place. It's easier if you just do it without looking. Then take the wheel, maneuver it around, make sure the headlights don't get in the way. Take the wheel, press it down. There's a little tab right there-ish. Let me show you. Should be able to see it. Tab right there, slot right there. You know how the system goes. So yeah, do the same thing right over here. Bend the arms, that way it turns into the window. Then just tab that in right there. Then take the wheel, tap that into place, give it a decent squeeze. Then what you're gonna want to do is take these headlights, plug the front in first, the end of the bumper, and then just like peg these two in here. Might be a little bit tedious, but you should just be able to get it. Hold up, I gotta do this off camera here. You're gonna notice that this guy's gonna be a little bit of a pain. There we go. And then if they haven't already, just collapse these right here. And then you basically got the front of the car done. If you really want to, you can just like put that right there, and there you go, you got the front. But yeah, make sure these arms stay in place. Now here's the fun part of the transformation. So what you want to do here, bring the legs and like kind of like twist it a little bit, then just bring the door up here, and then you won't, there's like no way to actually see the tabs. You gotta like line it up and then just like press it in. It should just press right in if you have it lined up properly, just like so. And do the same for the other side. Tilt it out a little bit so that way it allows for enough clearance to kind of like almost like soft ratchet over until you got it. Then try and show it. And then you kind of like just gotta maneuver it in the leg around a little bit until it's lined up, and then it should just click right into place, just like so. Now it's a little bit angled weird, but just like so. To the left is something that looks a little bit on the line, so obviously it's gonna look a little different, unless you've already also broken the windshield. I'm just gonna leave that right there for right now. But then what you're gonna want to do, rotate these. I always forget these calls. I'm sorry, I'm not a car guy, but tire rims, and I'm trying to show it as best as I can. Couple tabs right there that will line up. So I was trying to show it as best as I can here. So you kind of got to push the door down, I think. I can never remember how to do this. Yeah, so you gotta like, yeah, be careful with these. I'm just gonna mess around. There you go. Bring it back like that is what I just did. And then it should just go right into there. I'll do it on the other side to show you what I'm talking about. Rotate it and then just like pull it back and then just push right into place. Just like so. Then what you're gonna want to do is, I recommend taking these tires, pulling them out. They're all like a double hinge joint, so just pull them out just like so. And then you're like almost done here. Sorry. Then tab these in. Don't do anything to the feet yet. Okay. Here's where it's going to be interesting. So at this point, you should need to take the back end of the vehicle and peg it into a couple tabs here. I'm not going to be able to show it to you properly, so I'm just going to overlay a little video of it on screen now.
Meant to snap the rear of the vehicle in, bend here at kind of the ankle pivot, so that it allows for enough clearance for us to kind of basically scoot this here backwards, so that we can snap these clear tabs into these slots, which is honestly such a pain in the butt. It's really going to take quite a bit of force to get these in. I mean, 9 times out of 10, this side slides in no problem, but this side is always such a pain, so just keep persevering with it.
5 hours later.
Just like that, until it does click in. As I said, it can be super tedious to kind of line that up perfectly. Then, if they've detached themselves, tab back in the rear of the vehicle, and then you're just going to want to take those slots and line them up perfectly with those tabs, and then finally these pieces should also snap very securely into place. We can then take the roof of the vehicle, snap that in, give...
So now that you're back, assume that you got that in, peg that in the base, then bring down the feet And then the vehicle mode is done, almost. Once you take this, and since mine is broken, I just put it right there. But, we got a little bit of problemo right there. But this is the top of the car, so you're gonna wanna, just pretend that's pegged in. But I just put it right here to make it look a little bit better since mine's broken. But yeah, make sure everything is nice and sealed up. Then take the gun, a couple little ports, which right there and right there. You notice that these are, sorry. Make sure the gun is facing the port down or else it won't fit. And then kind of just put it into place, which is amazing weapon storage, by the way. You almost can't even tell it's there. But there you have Mirage in his vehicle mode. I'm actually gonna put this up top here just for the sake of the video. But yeah, there you go. There's Mirage in his vehicle mode. Yeah, make sure everything got tabbed in. But assuming mine wasn't broken, this guy looks pretty dang nice. So yeah, the vehicle mode looks really nice. You can definitely tell that they sacrificed the robot mode for this thing, because this Porsche 911 does look absolutely fire. It does not seem to like to keep everything tabbed in properly though. That might just be my copy, but I don't know. So yeah, it looks pretty good. Let's move on to some other vehicle mode comparisons, because there's really not much to talk about except for the beautiful painting. Got some slight details here, but otherwise it's basically just a scale replica of a Porsche 911. Now here is Mirage compared to, in my opinion, the two other best Studio Series Rise of the Beast Deluxe vehicles we've gotten. Wait, these are the only two other Rise of the Beast. Okay, either way, these all look amazing next to each other. Obviously, we got the two kind of sacrificed vehicle modes. Sacrificed 4 vehicle modes. But compared to Bumblebee, he looks pretty good too. And honestly, these seem to be scaled up pretty well, especially if you take into account the size of the doors. They do pretty well. So something I forgot to talk about in the vehicle mode is the fact that I don't know why they use clear plastic. From a distance, it looks like it's just black plastic. So I really don't understand why they use clear plastic, especially when it just breaks like mine did. But that's alright. I'm kind of thinking the same thing for Nightbird now that I look at it too. But anyways, these three look pretty good stacked up together. I'm just excited for when we get Wheeljack to add to this collection. But yeah, pretty good looking connected. Honestly, only thing I'm complaining about the Porsche is just how this giant seam, I feel like they could have just squished up a little bit better. But yeah, pretty good compared to each other. So for my final thoughts on this guy, I'm gonna be honest with you. He's alright. He's not as bad as he looks on like the box and stuff, but this guy is definitely not some 10 out of 10 Studio Series 102 Optimus. Like, he is definitely nowhere near that. Although, like I said, he does look a lot better in hand, especially if you do this thing that I did at the doors here where they're not just sticking out to the side. He looks a lot better in hand, but I'm gonna be honest with you, the transformation isn't actually as hard as some people make it look, besides clipping in the back windshield, which is what actually broke mine. So definitely got some quality control issues, but yeah, it does suck that they sacrificed the robot mode of it by a long shot. You can definitely tell just by turning this guy to the side. Although I have to give them a little bit of credit, because first of all, this guy's design was just so slim in the movie. He had no vehicle mode parts on him besides the front bumpers right here. So these designs are always hard for them to capture, but they usually end up finding a way to make it look at least pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna give this guy a solid 6 out of 10. Like I said, transformation pretty tedious, but sizing, the scale's pretty good on him, and his weapon looks pretty good. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, you can almost like not tell. It almost looks like it's a front thing added on. It doesn't look like an entire gun, which I think they did amazing on. I might even grab some metallic blue and just paint the inside just to give it that look that we saw in the movie. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Honestly, you should go pick this guy up, especially if you just want the Porsche, especially that. But yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.